you clap like you clap after the camera goes on. That way you sync it. Hey guys, so I'm going to be starting a new series on the channel called The Learning Creator, for a lack of a better name. It's a title in progress as I try and think of anything wittier. But the main concept behind this, I got inspired a year ago by he's a pastor, an author, and a speaker, and I've been listening to a lot of his works. His name is John Maxwell, as he says, and I'm paraphrasing it here a little bit, but is to help and serve others in your strength zones. Like, it's to help people in what you know best, is kind of how I interpreted it. And I've been making content for quite a long time. I've been streaming for 4 years. I've been making YouTube videos on and off for about 11 years. I've been working in the media design industry, I guess you'd call it, or at least been taking education. I've got a 4-year college degree in communications media, as well as then a 3-year, what would you call it, vocational degree in digital media technology. So it's a lot of graphic design, audio editing, and things like that. So I've been wanting to try and help people through what I've learned so far doing this. I've been a bit worried about doing this, though, because of the credibility behind it, you know? And another quote I've heard is like, who wants swimming lessons from somebody that doesn't know how to swim? And when I say that, look at the numbers, you know? Like, I don't have millions of followers, I don't have thousands of Twitch subscribers, I don't have this big gigantic mansion somewhere, and I don't have tons of money that I can donate to whoever. Like, I have this as a full-time gig for the most part, but it's not really where I want it to be yet. And I started thinking about this, and how can I make it so I'm not like shoving information in people's faces kind of unwarranted, which is what I see a lot of the people do on like Instagram or Twitter and stuff like that. They'll say like, I'm a stream coach and I'm an entrepreneur, and they'll just like shove information in people's faces as fact. And I'm like, there's something that kind of feels wrong about that to me. Not that I'm telling these people to, like, you know, screw off or anything like that. No, that's not the intent of this. But more that I think there's a better way that it can be done. And after thinking about it for a little while, I think the best way that I can do this is to more reflect it and have it be more of a conversation between you and I. And as the role of like a student, where I'm learning from you guys as much as as you're learning from me, or at least that's the intent, or at least it's what I'm hoping for. So the content for this series is going to be broken down into 3 parts, basically. There's going to be what I've learned so far, so over my time of streaming and making YouTube videos and my college education and things like that. I'll reflect on what I've learned from there. Then I want to do something a bit more present. Like, this is where my mind went with this, but like, if you've ever seen the show Doug back in the day, like 90s kids Nickelodeon cartoons, you know, he would always write in his journal on what he learned in the given day or week or however long the episode transpired.
Dear journal.
And that's kind of what I want to do. And given, I'm going to try and make this series weekly, maybe have it released on Sundays or something like that. I'm still figuring out the technicals, but just reflecting on a key message that I've been trying to put out through the whole week, or something that I've been trying to focus on, and kind of reflect on that as I've learned it, as I'm learning it, you know? But then also I would like to make another category to this where I'm showing and giving a bit more insight on what I think is going to be the future. And now, given this is in part going to be about gaming, since a lot of my content is focused around gaming and Twitch streaming and stuff like that, but also what I think is going to happen in the future in regards to content creation and social media as a whole. As I've been paying attention to it, I've seen certain trends and behaviors that have really, some have flourished, some have died, and I've been taking note of that, and I would really like to reflect it and kind of share what I've been paying attention to over the last few years. Also, I can assure you that the quality of this will get better over time. It's strange, I'm still nervous talking to a camera lens when there's like no game that's in between, like something that I can look at and I'm not looking at the camera lens. Like, the production quality on this will get a little bit better as we keep going forward, and I'm going to keep trying to improve the quality of this over time. I'm still a little bit nervous, I'm still kind of getting this rolling, so forgive the stammering and forgive the rambling. Hello, motorcycle. But the first subject that I really wanted to deep dive into for the series is on purpose. Now, when I talk about purpose, I look at a lot of like what I see from streamers. I see a lot of streamers right now who are like giving up on streaming, or who think that the platform, and I'm mainly talking about Twitch, but this is also relevant on YouTube. I've seen this happen on Instagram and on Twitter as well. I haven't really seen it on Facebook, but then again, I feel like it's hard to see like a lot of things on Facebook. Either way, I digress. Where they say it's oversaturated. We can't grow on this platform anymore because there's just too many people on it. But then I look and see what a lot of these streamers are doing, and they're doing a lot of, and I don't mean to say this unkindly, but they're doing a lot of the same things that everybody else is doing, which the main way that I describe it is they're playing a game. Maybe they're playing a variety of games. If they're a variety streamer, what, they're playing that one game that they're addicted to, whatever. And they're playing a lot of it for the experience and for the fun of it. And that's kind of where it ends. Like, that's it. We're playing it for the fun of it and having a good time. Which, don't get me wrong, having fun is paramount for this. Like, if you're not having fun with the games you're playing, then that's going to reflect negatively in your content. That's going to be an immediate, like, fun needs to be at the core. But in a way, they are right. Twitch is oversaturated with a lot of streamers just doing that. They're playing video games for the sake of experiencing it and having fun. It's kind of in the same regard of like a person puts on, I have great communication skills on their resume. Like, yeah, a lot of people can do that. That's a pretty common trait. There's really nothing that separates you from the other guy. You know what I mean? What I encourage more creators to do is to serve more in different purposes with their content. Now, when I say that, there's a lot of different ways that can be taken. One direction that I really encourage people to go in is the direction of helping others and guiding others. In that same mentality of what I said before, the John Maxwell quote is to serve and help people through what you know best, right? And if you need an example of it, look at what I'm doing with Gears of War 4 in Horde mode. I love Gears of War. I started streaming it regularly. I knew I wanted to do something in regards to a co-op game. And then I started looking into Horde mode as far as like YouTube content, and I noticed there wasn't really anybody just documenting content for Horde. And I'll get into that subject of documenting content probably in the next video or one of the next few. But basically just posting regular content about Horde mode, the co-op mode in Gears. And so I just started uploading, like if we had a good match, or I'd just experiment with a few things, try a different build out, try something stupid, and whatever would happen if we ended up succeeding in the match, I would just go ahead and upload it. But on top of that, I started making guides, and there's a lot of opportunities that I'm seeing in Horde in particular, and I think there's a lot in Gears 4 in particular from being in the scene for so long and seeing a lot of what content creators do. I think there's definitely some awesome opportunities, both for Horde and for regular Gears of War 4 and Versus and everything like that. There's some opportunity for some guides and stuff like that to be made on like just paying attention to what frustrates you about like what other players are doing the most, and just making content out of that. But I really want you to take a look at what you do and how you can help others with it. And it goes beyond gaming. Like, I'm reflecting this a lot in gaming because like that's my subject. That's what I know really well. But this can go out like, you know, if you happen to be good at repairing cars and you see something that mechanics do a lot of times that kind of grinds your gears, to make a joke, that might frustrate you, and you can maybe teach out about that. Or there's something that you see consumers normally doing and you can make a video on that and make a regular series out of it. Like I just keep reiterating, is take what you know, what you're good at, or something that you feel good about constantly diving into, and help other people learn through that. Take another line from John Maxwell. There was a concept that he went over in a particular CD that I had, where he said the phrase, "I am not the main attraction." And what I mean by that is when you have a purpose, it takes the focus off of you a bit. And that might seem like a bad thing. No, that's actually a great thing. Because, and this is what I see a lot of Twitch streamers do and YouTubers do in particular. Actually, you know, it's all across all social media. What am I saying? Where everybody focuses on the follower counts, the engagements, how many likes can you get on a video, how many subscribers can you get on Twitch, how many subscribers and views can you get on YouTube, how much revenue you can make. You know, it ends up being so much about the numbers game, and it's very self-centered based, me, how am I growing, how am I making money? And then, like, a lot of times I see if they do end up making that money, it more ends up being to show off. When you have this extra purpose with your content, like, you know, my purpose is to help people get better at the games that they love, is a motto that I love for myself, and feel free to adopt that for your own brand and your own channel as well. But whenever I go into a stream with that purpose, I find myself not as worried about the viewer counts or the subscriber counts and stuff like that. I more end up looking at, like, okay, we ended up failing a match of Horde. What caused that? Okay, it was because we didn't really revive each other that well. Okay, well, how can I make content that helps people understand how to revive people better? So on and so forth. I hope you see where I'm going with that. And I think this is a lot more important in regards to, as I've been very guilty of, I've done it for like 3 years out of the 4 years that I've been making Twitch streams, is I end up putting a lot of my own self-worth into those numbers, you know? Whenever you see, like, whenever I was starting to hit consistent viewers of 30, I started feeling really uppity up in myself, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm a lead influencer and everything, and it felt great. But then whenever you have those streams when maybe you only get like 10 viewers in stream, or maybe less than that, it starts to wear on your confidence, and it wears on your mental health. And you, like, for me, I've always, like, I've had trouble where I would just feel absolutely worthless if my viewer count and my subscriber count would fall below a certain threshold. So if you have that purpose to your stream, like, you know what, this isn't about me. This isn't about my viewer count. This isn't about my subscriber count. No, this is more about how can I help people with what I know? How can I help people get better at Gears of War? How can I help people get better? And I keep using the example of like a mechanic or a car repairman. It's just what comes to mind. But like, how can I help people more, like, stop making these same mistakes with their car? How can I help people do better with what I'm an expert at, you know? Whenever you have that purpose, it ends up taking it away from those numbers and more just, if you can help anybody, then that's what really makes a difference. It doesn't matter what the viewer count is. If even one person comes back to you and goes, thank you so much for what you've taught, I was able to learn from this, and I was able to, like, apply that to, like, you know, I was able to be better at Gears of War, then that ends up having a lot more fulfillment than just getting that upped subscriber account, that upped follower count, that upped viewer count. You know what I mean? But I want you to entertain that thought. I want you to find something in your life that you enjoy. Look at what content is out there on that particular game or that subject, and see what you can do to help people learn more. I think that if you did that, you'll find content creation a bit more fulfilling, as well as then a lot less stressful, because you're not focused on the number game. It's having that purpose that ends up making a difference in your content and really helps kind of your true self shine through in a way. And as well, I bet you'll find it a lot less saturated, because you're not just going into a stream, or you're not just going into a video for the sake of, let's play this video game and have fun. No, you're also going in with the intent of something more, of something greater, and there is not anywhere near as many people doing that. But guys, that is the end of this video. I appreciate everybody watching. If you enjoy this series, do the normal like, sub, hit the bell things, all those good things. Share out the video if you really enjoyed it and you think anybody can get some value out of it. I promise the production quality will get a lot better as I go forward. The first episode will be rough. I'm still kind of new to the game of looking directly at a camera without a video game being in front of me as well. And hopefully my nervousness will go away a little bit, and we'll get better. We'll get better. The first episodes of everything are always rough, and then as time goes on, it keeps improving. That's what I'm banking on. But I will have another video out hopefully within next week. If not, maybe it'll be a bi-weekly thing. We'll see how it ends up going for these first few episodes. But either way, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay thirsty, my friends.